Call ourselves to order for our regular board meeting, March 12th, 2024. If you would rise and join me in a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Mr. Schroeder, do you have anybody who would like to help us lead the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, ladies. We'll call our roll. Dr. O'Neill?
Present.
Mr. Heater?
Present.
Mrs. Barnes-Griffin?
Present.
Mr. Irvin?
Present.
Mr. Lowe?
Present.
At this time, Mr. Schroyer, we will turn it over to you. The floor is yours for a report by East Washington Academy.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm excited to share some of the amazing things that are going on at EWA. I'm going to try to keep this about under 10 minutes. There are so much more going on at our school, so I could go on. And I also want to recognize some fine young ladies that are with us here this evening. So,
Did somebody tell you 10 minutes?
no, I just feel like 10 minutes or so. If you want more, I'll give you more. There's no question about it. I could go on and on. I'm just talking about it for their sake.
I didn't want you to feel artificially constrained if you need to go.
Oh, no, no artificial constraints.
Okay.
Ask our teachers. All right. So first of all, at EWA, we believe in the whole child, the whole student. So that's the impetus behind our PBIS initiative, which we began last year and has carried forward into this year really strongly. We have 4 core values at our school: courage, integrity, compassion, and perseverance. And we believe of rewarding kids for demonstrating these core values. So once a month, we gather as a student body and as staff to teach our students the core value of that quarter. So each of our core values, all 4 of them, they're split up into each quarter of the school year. And we have split our students up by houses. And each of the students belongs to a house. They identify with that, and it's K through 5. So a kindergarten classroom will be matched up with the 5th grade classroom, and a 1st grade classroom will be matched up with the 4th grade classroom. It's a great way for students to get to know each other across grade level lines, and for staff members to get to know each other across grade level lines. So they plan these monthly house meetings together. They're entertaining, they're fun, they're informative. They can be serious, and they can have a great time and be wild and crazy, which we like too. I like a lot of that. So each quarter we have a big reward. So the picture on the left, that's part of our ultimate recess day. Our folks here will remember. Oh, absolutely. Sign of approval there. So students earn points throughout the quarter called PAW points. Those points are documented in a shared spreadsheet that all of our teachers use and track. So right now, the house that's leading our house race in quarter 3, they have over 600 points. So really what that says, I mean, is the number inflated? Maybe a little bit. But even if it's by half, which is not by half, but even if it's half, that means over 300 times a student was recognized for having compassion, which is our focus this quarter. They also get shouted out over the morning announcements and, I mean, 100 other ways. Our attendance this year right now is holding strong at around 93.5%. We're really excited about that, but we want more. Our goal this year is to go from 91.35 to 95% attendance. And we're about 1.75% ahead of where we were this time last year. So we actually had our process checks, super useful. We brainstormed, live right there with a couple different grade levels of some great ideas that other schools in the elementaries that we're going to steal and implement those. and try to squeak that attendance from 93.5 to 95 by the end of the school year. I think we can do it. Trending incidence comparisons. So in terms of behaviors, anytime a student exhibits a behavior of some type, we ask that is detrimental to learning or detrimental to their performance or behavior in the classroom. We ask teachers to document that in Power School. So, and I check it on a daily basis. The green is our incident count from this year. And you can see the others, oranges from last year and blues from the year before. So we've had a very steady, consistent improvement from the beginning of the year to now. And at this point in the school year, we're beating the trend from previous years. So this tells us that our game plan's working, that we're catching kids before the behaviors get completely, totally out of control, that we're preventing a lot of issues from occurring in the first place, because an incident, again, is a documentable behavior that a student has in class or in the hallway or in the cafeteria. So those things are what we've been working on big time. Just school culture, and it goes back to the PBIS that we're doing too, the great work that our teachers do every single day. And we really focus on building that relationship with the student. We have multiple tiers before the principal comes and takes you out of class. Our teachers do a stellar job of keeping kids in class, because that's our priority. If you're not there, you're not learning. We want you in classroom learning. Along with that, so this is also a report from the behavior side that I keep an eye on too, and as well as our student assistance coordinator, Mr. Harris, front office team, repeat incidents among students. Why this is important is because we should be seeing the trend as it is presented here. So as you get further to the right on the graph, those are a number of repeat incidents. So 3 students out of 500 kids in our school have 13 repeated incidents. The reason this is so encouraging to us, is because we can look at the trend line from 5 repeated incidents onward and can target 10 students. Oh, please confirm shutdown.
Fred, can you see?
Hey, you're good.
Yes.
Oh, he's got, yes! Give, oh. You know what, Brad? It's all right. It's all right. I've got it all up here.
That was solid work.
That was that was clutch. Almost as clutch as our basketball team. That's here tonight.
So the thing is, I honestly thought you'd hit the right button too.
When it says okay, that's the one you intuitively feel like you should press. It's all right, Brad. You're good. I'm going to keep rolling while you get this set up. So we can identify 10 students in our building that have the most number of repeat incidents. If the trend of that graph, which will pop up here in a second, if it was the opposite direction, that would be cause of serious concern for us, because that means we have several students in the building with a number of repeat incidents. Again, our interpretation of this data is that we are mitigating, when a student has an incident, we reach out to them and we provide real solutions. We do a lot of conflict resolution. We do a lot of parent phone calls, a lot of conferences in person over the phone. Because when we know that a student may be a repeat behavior, boy, we take that really seriously in our building. So I'm really proud of the hard work that our behavior team has done this year and our teachers to keep the incident count down and at a very reasonable level. And we are working with these students day in and day out, the ones that are repeat incidents, because they just need more help. That's all there is to it. Academics. So I'm really proud to say, and we have some of our hardworking students seated behind me as well, that we have high growth in both reading and math this year, and high performance. So if you're looking at that 4-quadrant graph, we're seeing both reading and math being in that high performance, high growth quadrant, which we're really excited about. We couldn't be happier about that. And that just, again, speaks to the hard work, dedication of our teachers. Let's dive in a little closer, because we know that as a school we're hitting that, but what are we doing for each individual student? That's the important thing. You all know we house the high ability program for Muncie schools at EWA. Our high ability team is rocking and rolling. They're doing tremendous things. And we don't rest on our laurels from the performance of our high ability students. We want every single student in our building to achieve that high performance, high growth in our building in both reading and math. This year, we've placed a very high emphasis on reading intervention. We want our kindergarten and first grade students to be reading. So we keep talking about the long game. 2 years from now, we're going to start seeing these students taking statewide assessments, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. So in phonics and fluency, so the very foundation of reading in phonics. So beginning of the year, you could see that 8% of our kindergartners demonstrated proficiency in phonics skills, as opposed to middle of the year, which was 36%, which is tremendous growth from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year. Same thing across the board with first, second, and third. You're going to see a little more modest gains in first and second because some of them already have those skills, but to see growth across the board in that is big. Phonemic awareness, same thing, the very essence of reading. One thing we have loved this year in our building is the influence of the cadre. I mean, it's been incredible because people from Marion, like Laura and her team, the training that admin receives and the master teacher receives, all of that data and all of the research-based practices of the science of reading trickles down to our teachers through PLC meetings once a week. So teachers aren't just given a curriculum, and we'll talk about that here in a second, but they're not just given a curriculum, they're actually told the why behind why we do phonics first, why phonemic awareness is so important. And that's something that we've been missing for the past several years. What's the purpose behind good phonics instruction? And the fact that they know that, our teachers, we want every teacher in our building, especially K-1-2, to be reading experts, reading proficiency experts. So I was really excited about this, our master teacher and I. So we can see from this chart here, our intervention is so critical. So of that 8% in kindergarten that only demonstrated proficiency in phonics, how did we get from 8 to 36% through that kindergarten year? The key was intervention. So small groups in the classroom, and then people from the outside pushing in and grabbing some kids, pushing into the classroom, forming their own small groups in order to give really precise instruction. And that's what M-Class Dibbles allows us to target this school year. M-Class Dibbles is an incredibly sound and valuable investment, I'm telling you, because we can drill down. iReady, it can show us that a student is, maybe tested out of phonics, but the M-Class Dibbles might show us a little bit different story because it is so much more specific. So in the category of phonics, what aspects are these students struggling with? What are they proficient in? So that's when our intervention team comes in, and they just drill in on a very specific targeted phonics skills, very specific targeted phonics skills. So in kindergarten, this cohort of 24 students that was in intervention, 71% of them advanced out of intervention. So they were retested and tested out of the intervention groups in that targeted phonics instruction. I mean, that's incredible. Students that are in intervention, the idea is that they get out. We don't want them in intervention for 5 years. But yet that's kind of what we've been seeing. What are the real solutions? The real solution is teaching reading the right way. So, and boy, our intervention team is absolutely stellar. Angie Butler, Michelle Hampton, Krista Terrell, they're great. And you can see the other grades too having tremendous success in that. CKLA has been a total game changer for our school. Our kids love it. They love the content. They may not always love doing every workbook page, but I have 3 kids that do CKLA every day, and the things they come home and tell me personally, organically, just about what they're learning, and I'm popping in and out of classrooms all the time, and they're really excited about the Renaissance. They're really excited about anatomy. They are talking and asking questions during my lunch duty about the Revolutionary War. I mean, they're talking about content that is something that we just haven't had organically in our school because it's so embedded in our reading curriculum. Well, CKLA has been a game changer. So what are some of our teachers doing? On the left and the right, you can see Ladies, is this any of yours up here? Oh, Grace, that's yours. Okay. Is it the one on Raphael? On the right, okay. Oh, Da Vinci? Oh, great. So, as part of their Renaissance unit of study, the fifth grade teachers had their students create works of art along with the essay that they were assigned to do. And you can see the essays are no joke either. I mean, 4 or 5 nice paragraphs in great sequential logical order. But they also had that creativity and that outlet of their artistic needs come out too. So, and then in the middle here, you see there was a astronomy unit that a third grade class did, and they created their own constellations.
Is that Frida Kahlo on the left?
I think so. I think so. Although I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know. It's maybe needs more of the unibrow to
Or
complete.
Raphael?
Yes, Raphael. Okay. We're singing.
Well,
Not,
that's pretty
not as much of a
highbrow.
unibrow as we need, but
Yeah.
for you to call it. But yeah, these are just a few examples of the way our teachers are able to extend activities for CKLA. I know our third grade team, they do a culminating activity at the end of every CKLA unit. So they studied Vikings. So what they do at the end, the whole third grade team came together and had a Viking celebration, and they wore clothing that was appropriate for that particular time. Saw a lot of horned helmets. I don't know, the history buffs here might debunk that, but they had fun with it nonetheless. There's just an organic type of excitement going on as a result of CKLA in our building. Not to mention the reading skills that are taught as a direct result. So the knowledge portion is excellent. I mean, we just don't have enough great things to say about how CKLA has been a total game changer. Extracurricular activities at EWA, again, the whole child, so important to have something for everybody to do. The middle school environments do a great job of creating that and cultivating that, but we think our elementary school kids can get involved in this stuff early. So teachers have really come out of the woodwork this year and just volunteered and are excited about so many different things. I have Lego Club up there twice, but one of the Lego clubs, it needs to be replaced. Miss Miller, I think, is going to do a sewing club here pretty soon. But you can do choir and band, book club. Right now, they're doing a Percy Jackson book club in first grade. Science bowl, math bowl, Girl Scouts, which we offer during the school day, so any girl in the school can attend that. I think, Chuck, you saw our Girl Scout. They're not a calm group. They're really excited to get down there. Sports, Mr. Boggs, played football at Ball State University. He started a flag football program this fall. He did a tremendous job with it. Basketball, track, volleyball. Get involved at EWA. Get involved. Now, the real reason why we're here tonight, and I told young ladies, the Kansas City Chiefs were invited to the White House after they won a Super Bowl. So I felt like, come on, guys. You got to come to the White House of Muncie. The MCS School Board, we need all of our ladies up here that came here tonight. They're representatives. Scarlett, bring the trophy. Bring the ice. Come on up here. We have a fantastic ladies basketball team this year. They have to carry it together. It's that heavy. I'm going to slide over a little bit. So this is some of our representatives from our incredible basketball team this year. They went undefeated and were city champs this year. Give it a round of applause for these two ladies. Look at this. Standing ovation, girls. Standing ovation. And I will say that these young ladies are some of our best in our school. They represent the type of perseverance and integrity and courage and compassion that we hope to see, and they're blushing now.
So why don't we have them all introduce themselves?
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Scarlett Schroyer, and my favorite kind of ice cream is cookie dough.
Cookie dough, okay.
I'm Jaza Abdul Hafiz, and some of the sports I play is basketball, volleyball, and track.
Great.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna make me. No, I'm really. My name is Katie Mullins, and my favorite color is pink and purple and blue.
Okay, yay.
My name is Cameron Carey, and some of the sports I do was gymnastics, basketball, volleyball, and dance.
Okay.
I'm Grace Beasley, and I'm in 5th grade, and my favorite color is blue.
Okay.
I'm Isabel Ambler, 5th grade, and I play basketball, track, volleyball, and I do dance.
So how many games did you play?
Nine.
Wait,
Nine.
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 Yeah.
Including the tournament.
We had 6 regular season and then 3 tournaments.
And so who did you beat in the championship?
Longfellow,
Okay.
Westview.
No,
In the championship.
So what was the closest game of the season?
Grissom.
Grissom, yeah, Grissom.
No.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
tied on that one. We never tied on any other games.
No,
We did tie.
We
No, it
didn't
was
tie.
Longfellow.
That
It
was
was
the closest
Longfellow. It was Longfellow.
Guys, it was Grissom.
It was Longfellow or Grissom.
Yeah.
So were you guys all on the same team?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Seems like you have really distinct memories. So do we have some folks over here who are part of the cheering section?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Whose siblings are those? Oh, did they cheer you on all year?
Yes. Well, they didn't. Well, they came to the tournament, but no.
Okay. Did you score in the tournament games?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you guys need at EWA that you don't have?
Less math.
Cookie
Less math.
The water.
We need the water bottle thingies that we can put our water bottle in and it'll fill it up with the sensor. Because all of ours are broke.
We have to use like the fountain part where you drink out of it instead of
We
like.
can't fill up our water bottle.
Yeah.
We can help with that.
We can probably work on that. And
Also,
you guys are part of the, you may not know
We need a
this,
vending machine too.
vending machine.
a vending machine? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want, what, with fruit? With fruit?
Nope, chips and popping.
Did you
Dr.
just get
Pepper.
a book vending machine?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I saw it once.
Yeah,
It's
me
just
too.
like, we just have a bunch of books in it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yeah, only like one person from each class got invited, and
Yeah.
we didn't get invited.
but they're like,
I don't know why.
A lot of
I don't know why. We're just so special.
But you have to get like tokens, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you gotta get like
You should have
coins
invited
and
us.
money.
I mean,
Like,
Okay, well, it sounds like you guys are working your way through it.
we need less math.
So you need a water dispenser for your water bottles, right?
yeah.
Yes.
You know, you guys are the most hydrated generation I've ever seen. Okay, so we're gonna work through that. Mr. Jerome, we can probably get one of those fixed, right? Vending, I'm not gonna vend candy and Coke for you.
Worth a shot.
If someone-
It was worth a try.
Or we should get a money.
Yes.
Yes, we need a money vending machine. We need to get paid for being at school.
You are paid with the knowledge that you're receiving.
I
So,
have to wake up early.
well, we appreciate your vibrancy and your success, both academically and athletically, and we will look forward to seeing you progress through and having a foundation where you can go to college or trade school or something like that, and then you get to a point where somebody will pay you, and you will want to then go back to school, I can tell you that. So, thank you very much.
No shoving.
yeah, let the little one through.
Let the little one through.
Chris,
you're too tall.
You're tall. Right in the middle so it doesn't block anybody. All right. Look here in 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks, girls.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, is there anything you need besides the water?
No. Well, Chuck and I talked yesterday at process checks about, the potential of us keeping a third interventionist. That's a little bit of a pipe dream, I know. Right now, we have 3 as a bonus. So I know that's probably grant funds.
Okay.
That run out at some point. But to keep moving the needle, especially with our gen ed population and rating, we want to continue to make sure that we have adequate interventionists. So again, that's kind of a wish list item.
So undoubtedly, you've been following the discussions at the State House about third grade reading.
Yes.
As we look at that, and obviously the earlier the intervention,
The better.
the better.
Yeah.
And that also is going to hopefully manage to avoid difficult and challenging decisions at that third grade level. But we definitely want to do everything possible to get past that without having to take drastic steps, because at that point it becomes, there are all sorts of collateral issues, as you know.
Yeah.
So anything you need as we move that forward, specifically
Yeah.
at those earlier grades, and I know Dr. Reynolds and Dr. K have talked to you about that, but
Yes.
that's obviously critical.
Yeah, and having the IAs at the younger grade levels in kindergarten has been amazing. So we feel really supported. We feel 100% supported by the school board and our administration.
And is your faculty all well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Do they, please express on our behalf our
Yeah.
appreciation for the work they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. We have, I'm biased, of course. I think we have the best staff in the district. We have the best kids in the district. So we're blessed.
So somebody brought some candy bars and stuff, right?
Yeah, that was Moniece. That was Katie's mom. She was nice enough to put those together. Oh, absolutely. I will take all of those. Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have any questions? I'm sorry. Any questions?
I just always have to recognize, Evan, it wasn't too long ago, we were just hiring you as an assistant principal.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, you become the principal.
Yes.
And he has done a remarkable job. He has a great sense of energy. He digs in and really understands the curriculum. He pushes forward to make sure that students are learning, all the while creating a great environment where kids go and have fun and enjoy school. So you have just done a remarkable job, and you'll always be one of our leaders. I'm positive of that. So thank you, Evan.
I appreciate
Evan.
that, Dr. K. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're on to Dr. K's comments.
Great. Well, as the students talk about wanting a vending machine for candy or soda, we have gotten our book vending machines delivered to several of our elementary schools. Many of them already have books that are in them, and students, we were at Southview, and the students were talking about saving their Starbucks they get so they could eventually get 30 of them to be able to get a gold coin, and that gold coin allows them to get in the book vending machine and receive a book that they get to take home and they get to keep. So it's another way of trying to incentivize and reward students for good behavior, good attendance, and improvement with academics. So we are grateful the George and Francis Ball Foundation helped us get book vending machines in our schools. I think we're still waiting for Northview's to be delivered, and that will be the last one. We're fortunate they funded 4 of them, and then we found other ways to make sure that Westview and Northview also have book vending machines. I had a note from Stephanie, who's with Chartwells, and this is for the board. Thank you all so very much for the lovely gifts and thoughtfulness. I am so grateful for all the well wishes. Can't wait to share baby pics of our baby boy. So we put together a gift basket. She's expecting her first baby, and so she wanted to thank all of you for that. And I also just wanted to share, we've been finishing up our process checks, and we're getting ready for our big on-site monitoring visit. Dia has been leading the charge with that. We were on the WebEx the other day, and I think when we got to about 20, that's when our count stopped with how many folks from the Indiana Department of Education will be joining us tomorrow, heading out to 4 different schools. They'll be in this building. I think they said they're bringing 8 fiscal staff. And I reminded them we have 1 Violet, and so we'll see how that works out. But we had to prepare quite a few documents to submit already, and then we'll be ready with all the interviews. But I'm just proud of our team for how they've come together to prepare for that. We do good work, and we'll be proud to show off all of our good work.
Okay, any questions for Dr. K? You know, it's interesting. Dr. K had shared with me the details of this audit that DOE is conducting in various schools, and it's, you know, with the level of detail that's being requested and the number of physical inspections that are called for. It's a little bit like, to my mind, bringing 20 cooks into the kitchen to try and make a peanut butter sandwich. It's gonna, I mean, the outcome's gonna be modest, but nonetheless, we'll do our thing. So, with that degree of commentary on public policy, I will move to the consent agenda. We have a retirement, Linda Black, who has spent 31 years, I believe, with us, and will be retiring at the end of the year. She is currently at the Area Career Center as the Adult Education Record Specialist. We want to thank Linda for many, many years of devoted service to MCS. So, and wish her well in her retirement. We have other items in the consent agenda. Any questions regarding anything in that consent agenda? If not, would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Moved and second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we will show that passing. Mr. Jerome, the financial report.
Thank you. Included in your board packet is the month of February financial results. Obviously, that's only 2 months of the 12-month calendar year, so still happy to always report we received our state funding, our state basic grant in the month. Still expecting to receive a little over almost $47 million in the state basic grant for this calendar year. That's based on our student enrollment that was reported in February of 4,938 students, and that was only down 13 students since October 2023 count. Still reporting a little over almost $32 million on our overall checkbook balance at the end of February. Still expecting to have a cash balance in the education fund at the end of December of a little over almost at $15 million. We still continue to pay the state loan. That's down to $9.6 million. Of course, that's all backloaded. We continue to pay a little over $150,000 a month, and continuing to pay that back from 2020 through 2028. And that kind of, I just show you those additional charts and graphs there that continues to show where our checkbook balance is, and the red line there just shows the state loan that continues to be paid back. So obviously the cash balance is still doing very well. And I always like to show appropriation spending, what's left. Like I said, we're only 2 months into it. Yeah, it really kind of completes my February report. We always become a lot more tightened up as you get closer to the end of the 12 months. So.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Jerome? Anything out there that should offer us concern? Other than the operations fund, which continues?
The operation fund is always concerning, and obviously we continue to use, we help use our rainy day fund to help offset spending in the operation fund for about the last 2 or 3 years, and that's an ongoing issue that we're continuing to have to do. We'll continue probably in the fourth quarter I'll come to the school board to ask for additional appropriation in the education fund, and that's just due to higher payroll, higher headcount in the education fund. And, that's, at least from our most recent ADM count, the enrollment has basically, as we've talked about before, has basically seemed to stabilize. And we've not had much variance on that, so that's always positive to report, so.
Thank you. Would entertain a motion to approve?
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. It's my understanding we're looking to move the virtual academy back under the umbrella of MCS, back under the, not
Yeah.
make it its own independent school.
Yep. So the action item deals with the Muncie Virtual Academy in front of you. Per Indiana code, if you had a couple of metrics, one being students, more than 100 students in a school program that received more than 50% of their instruction virtually, they needed to have a school number. So back in June of 22, we created the Muncie Virtual Academy as its own school. Over the last 2 years, we've seen those numbers decline. Spent most of this year under 100, up until maybe early to late January, we bumped just a little over 100. And so I'm recommending today that we move back to a program, and we'll house each Muncie Virtual Academy program at each school. So the students will stay at their school, but just be enrolled in a program at each school, and as opposed to having a virtual academy with its own unique school number.
And I remember from that time, we had some policies put in place on the students rotating back into off the virtual program back to the actual building.
Right, that's right.
And is that still, will that be an option for those students, I presume?
Yes, yep.
Will that make it easier?
Yeah, and if they stay in the program, they have just more access to some of those student support services, the family navigators, the student assistant coordinators in the building. They just have a better handle on them when they're at the school. And when you're under 100, it's just a few in each building.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. Any questions?
And we also plan next year to limit the number of K1, 2, 3 students that are part of the virtual academy. We just know how critical it is that they have in-person instruction.
Good. Okay, with that, would entertain a motion to approve. Second. Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. On to Personnel Matter 6.03. So we have what I think is continuing good news. When this journey started, and I've talked about this a lot today with individuals who've been visiting the administration building, it was July of 2018 when this board was constituted formally, and we took our jobs. Our first board meeting was, I think, about 4 hours, if I recall correctly. I know it was about 11 at night. And the board undertook at that time, with the aid of Steve Edwards, to look at a number of things, but most importantly to us was recruiting leadership. And in, I believe, April of 19, is that correct, Dr. Reynolds? March of 18. I remember you and I met up in my conference room at 400 South Walnut, and Dr. Reynolds came back to us from Richmond, and that was an incredible blessing. He is a skilled educator, and he cares deeply about Muncie and Muncie Community Schools, and he is marvelously accomplished. And then moving through that spring, I had talked to Dr. Kwiatkowski. She called me in her role with the governor and with the state board, asking for an update, an opportunity to sit down and visit. And I said, in a completely serious manner, I said, if you ever get tired of chasing folks down around the State House, we might have a role for you. And she and I had a lunch, and it evolved, and she took office July 1st of 2019. And since that time, with their leadership, Dr. Kay and Dr. Reynolds, and many of you here tonight as well, Dr. Bell, Mr. Jerome, Eric Grimm, Heidi White, Rhonda Ward back there. I'm trying to see others, and many others who've been with us at various points. We are financially stable. We've actually seen growth in our enrollment. We're seeing, as you no doubt have seen over the past several months, academic performance indicators moving in the right direction, and I remain convinced that Muncie Community Schools offer among the best education in the state of Indiana. Dr. Kwiatkowski, who has been in public education now for approximately 40 years.
Oh, boy, don't make me sound so old, Jim.
Has decided that now is the time for her to retire, and she will be retiring effective June 30th of 2024. So she will have been with us 5 years, which is the pace that she has kept is remarkable. She's been with her husband, a proud resident of Muncie and Delaware County during that time, and has given more than she has taken at every step of the way. We will miss her, but I am pleased and proud and happy to report that the board has unanimously, we've not voted on it, but we are unanimously supportive of Dr. Reynolds as her successor. And the succession plan that we envisioned back in 2019 has come to fruition. And Dr. Kay will continue to work with us on a consulting basis and Dr. Reynolds on a consulting basis. And the relationship has been very, very positive, and they've been immensely helpful to me individually and to this board. Frankly, words are inadequate to express my appreciation for Dr. Kwiatkowski and what she has given. They're just simply not, they don't exist. She's been a remarkable educator and a good friend. And Dr. Reynolds, I'm looking forward, and the board looks forward to working with you. We've worked with you closely. And I'm in awe of your ability to manage a marching band. And that alone is standing alone. That standing alone with nothing else says this guy can do anything he wants. So we are on a great trajectory, and we look forward to it continuing. So when we commenced back in July of 19 with Dr. Kwiatkowski, I asked all the board members if they wished to contribute their comments about, at that time, the hiring of Dr. Kay. So tonight, I'm going to give, if you'll indulge me, a brief opportunity to all the board members. We'll start over here with Mrs. Barnes-Griffin to express anything they wish regarding Dr. Kay and Dr. Reynolds.
Start with me, huh? I really have been honored to work with you. I mean, we have grown close. So everywhere that I go, people are always complimenting the school and your leadership, and I tell them that she is always what you see is what you get. So I thank you. We were in a world that you helped come around us. So I appreciate that. Although you'll be gone, I know that our friendship will still continue.
That's right.
By the drive, if we have our canary, we'll do all those things.
That's right.
Chuck, I hope you have me on speed dial, because you'll be on mine for sure. But no, I just thank you for what you've done for our and I look forward to you and your family being able to do what families do. So thank you. Coffee candy?
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah.
Well, successful succession is a really important part of any operation. And to think 6 years ago, when we as a group, and for those of you who were working in the district at that time, succession wasn't even in the thought. It was, how are we going to manage on a day-to-day basis? And so as we have navigated these 6 years so far, and 5 of them under your leadership, Dr. K. One word that comes to my mind is thankful. I'm very thankful for your experience. You brought to us experience that was very important for this district. You brought to us thoughtfulness and calm. You know, we had that little thing called a pandemic. That's the first time it's been mentioned, I think, tonight. That who knew how we were going to manage that, but because of your experience and skill, we were able to. And Chuck, I'm thankful for you. You know, you never left this community. You believe in this community. You committed yourself to kids and to faculty and parents, and that has built credibility that has allowed us to think through this transition and succession with an exceptionally high degree of confidence. So I just want you to know we have your back. And you know, there's a lot of hard work ahead. We all know that. But with the help, as Jim rightfully mentioned, all of the folks out there that support, you know, great teams are made up of people with different talents that complement each other to succeed. And I'm thankful, Leanne, that you were able to do that here, and I'm thankful that I'm confident Chuck will continue. So I'm glad we're moving forward.
Well, I echo what's already been said. I'm certainly appreciative of our relationship and getting to know you through these last 5 years or so. And I have my own little personal mantra as it relates to leadership. Leadership's everything. It just is. And so I just want to express my appreciation for kind of being able to watch how this thing unfolds, and the skill at which you have led this district has been phenomenal. And I'm not sure that everyone who has been observing from afar off can appreciate all that we were up against, but yet at the same time can appreciate your skill in navigating the situation that we had here. So thank you so much for the opportunity to serve with you and alongside you and to support what you're doing. Of course, Dr. Reynolds, I feel that same way with you, and I know that will continue. And I'm excited about what's coming. As a fellow musician, I can appreciate your skill in the conducting and all that. That leadership stuff is a big deal. And so we look forward to moving the district forward as we have been going. And so we're excited about supporting you and making sure you have what you need to succeed.
Leanne, I think the biggest feeling I have is one of gratitude. You have done a phenomenal job. And when you think about the best compliment you can pay someone is what an impact you've had. Your leadership has been amazing, and the whole team has had an impact, but you've been the captain of the team. And so thank you. If you look at where we were and where we are, it's incredible. And we owe you a debt of gratitude for that, and always will. And I think our challenge now is to move forward and honor that, because we're not at the destination. The destination, Chuck, you will help push us toward the destination. We'll probably never get to the destination, but it's down the road somewhere. And we're very, very fortunate to have you, to have Leanne be able to pass the baton and still have the team in place. And we're just extremely grateful to both of you and to the entire team. And Chuck, excited for you. And Leanne, really appreciate your grace in the way you've handled things. Sometimes that word just fits, and it fits for you. And Chuck, really appreciate your sense of humility and your sense of humor, because that's something that I think will serve us well too. So thank you to both. I'm excited about where we've come from, but I'm equally excited about where we're headed. So thank you both.
Yeah, you referred to it as a journey. I think we continue to raise the bar. You raised the bar so much. You're going to raise it even more. But I think back, we all sat together and we created this qualification document that was, 20 pages long, I think it was. And it was the gold standard. How in the world are we going to find this person that met the gold standard. Not only did we find that person, but you met the platinum standard. It was amazing. I mean, we're all trying to figure out where we're going to go to find this person, and you stepped in. So thank you for coming to the Muncie Community Schools. But and thank you, Chuck. When I heard Chuck was coming back, and I knew of Chuck because friends who taught at Muncie Southside, I couldn't have been happier at that point in time. But you know what you created with the staff is your legacy here. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, you have wonderful people that you have put in place, not only the administrators, but the principals and so forth. So you build a wonderful base that we can build upon. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for stepping up to the plate and continue to raise the bar. Thank you, both of you.
So, I am very, very pleased with how this has transpired. And that document we put together, I remember it well. The thing is, we met it and we're meeting it again. And it's a little thing, but this may come as a shock to those of you watching at home and those of you here in the crowd, but occasionally people get frustrated and angry with educators. And they come into buildings wired for conflict. And both Dr. Kay and Dr. Reynolds, I've watched them do this countless times, absorb it with grace and with decency and their level of concern and care, and they de-escalate situations. And at the end of many of those encounters that I've witnessed from afar, they conclude very, very well. And we serve our families and our students. And the vast majority of the time when they interact with Dr. Kay or Dr. Reynolds, they walk away feeling well served. And that's a gift. And you both have that gift. And I know it's difficult. And I know there are times you're biting your lower lip and you know, you have a tough day and then you face that, but you both just really do respond with a degree of humility and grace to those we serve. So thank you very, very much. As I say, it's March 12th. You are, I think, working until June 30th.
That's right.
And so we need as a board to approve the acceptance of Dr. Kay's retirement effective June 30th and Dr. Reynolds' hiring effective July 1st. And we need to work through, we've got the contract and I think it's in good shape. I just need to clean up the document with council and then get that back to you. But we can approve that at our April meeting. So I need a motion to accept Dr. Kay's retirement with an effective date of June 30th and accept the hiring of Dr. Reynolds with an effective date of July 1st, 2024. Is that correct? I believe. Okay. Do I hear that motion?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. At this point, I would be remiss if I didn't give each of you a chance to be heard. And you can take it or not take it at your pleasure.
So I will begin. So it's really difficult to leave a job I love in a district full of so many talented, dedicated people. And looking back at all we've accomplished since 2019, I just feel very proud of that. I talk to superintendents not only across the state, but the nation, and I will always say, we have the very best school board, and people see that and they recognize that. I also am just so appreciative of the partnership with Ball State University. It is, unique, one of a kind across the nation, and the support from President Mearns, the Provost Susanna Rivera Mills to begin with, and then Dean, or Provost Maury now, and then the deans of the Teachers College, just their support and all the faculty. It has just, it's been something that I will never forget. And then this community, the number of community groups that have embraced Muncie Community Schools, that want the best for our students and for our teachers, who are, invested in supporting us and helping us and generous with funds. I mean, I have never seen a community so supportive of their school district the way Muncie is supportive of this district. And so I, don't want to start naming names because I certainly would forget someone, but this has been just a remarkable experience. It's very bittersweet, but, my heart, there's a purple part of my heart now that would always stay purple. And, even though I may be moving back to the Indianapolis area to be closer with family and grandkids, I certainly will not be very far away. I will be constantly supporting Muncie Community Schools because we're on a great trajectory. We've made great progress. And I'm just so proud that Chuck is going to be the one who I hand the baton to because he is incredibly talented. He has been there side by side. So from the very minute I stepped into my role, he's been part of developing our strategic plan. He's part of supporting our principals in our schools. He's well known throughout the community, very beloved. And so people will be cheering when they hear that Chuck is a person that will be stepping into this role. And I'm just very, very grateful and proud to see you move into this because it's well-deserved. It's a fun job, Chuck, so get ready. And Jim, as a board chair, we speak regularly, sometimes daily, right? And I just will always be grateful for your wisdom. I've learned so much from you and just the friendship we have that will remain. So now I'll give you the baton, Chuck, and it's your turn.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I'm just humbled by the opportunity and to echo everything that Dr. K said, our partnerships with Ball State and of course our relationship with this outstanding school board and all of our community partners. I mean, those are the reasons that I chose to stay in Muncie and chose to come back to Muncie. I love this city. I love the school district and want to continue the work we've done and to continue to serve our kids that in a corporation that served me and gave me opportunities beyond where I thought I could end up someday. So I envision that for our kids and providing terrific opportunities by providing good leadership and supporting our teachers and our families. I guess to go back to the band reference, that's where I got my start and a burning desire for education and to give back and to pour into kids. And I think marching band is a good tell of that. While I was the head band director, none of that happens without a strong staff behind you. I by no means did any of that or had any success on my own. I look over at Dr. Bell and think of the great support that she provides and Mr. Jerome. And then I look out to Heidi and Rhonda and Eric sitting out there too, and all that they do to pour into our family and our kids. And it's more than a Dr. K or a Chuck. I mean, it's being a part of something bigger to create something bigger than we could imagine. I also look out and see my wife and my boys out there, get a little choked up, but appreciate their support because it's a family commitment when you do that, right? It's not just a Chuck decision. It's a decision that you get your family involved in because they're at ball games, they're going to events with me and being a part and being the face of the Muncie Community Schools. So again, I look out and thank them and of course my mom's back there too. I thank my mom to always being there and being supportive and making sure I was at school and got a good education. So again, humbled and excited to continue the journey. We're going to look forward to continue to raise that bar and set a new bar for school districts across Indiana to keep up with us.
Thank you both very much. Well, at this point, unless there's anything further, I assume there's no, Mr. Klotz, I assume there's no media questions. Okay. At this point, I would entertain a motion to adjourn unless anybody has anything further.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, we stand adjourned. Thank you.